Hello and welcome to the I've Seen Everything Reaction Wrap-Up. My name's Andrew and I'm glad to have you here with me. This is where I share my thoughts, rating, and review following my most recent reaction or watch-along video. To find these reaction and watch-along videos, please visit @SeenEverything over on YouTube. Please be sure to click the follow button here on the podcast, and for those listening on Apple Podcasts, a rating and review would be greatly appreciated. And now, on to this episode's wrap-up for 1979's Alien.
Well, I feel like I start so many wrap-ups with well that I should do like a supercut of all the wells at some point. A movie that gave birth to modern space horror as a genre. A movie that launched a horror/sci-fi franchise that has endured for not 50 years yet, but I think we're at 45 years. Yeah, something like that. Alien Romulus just came out last year. I mean, they've had big gaps of time. But we have that, and I think there's a TV show that came out. But I haven't seen... Alien Romulus is the only one I haven't seen at this point. And I'm hoping... Like, again, there's others that I've seen once, but it's been a long time. I don't remember everything that happens. But one thing I do remember that happens is I know is a big time jump. It's like 50 or 60 years or something like that before they actually find Ripley. So this whole thing where she sent herself out, I'll get to this whatever this place is in 6 weeks, and, you know, hopefully somebody will... This is a highly trafficked area, so hopefully somebody will find me and pick me up. Yeah, that apparently took 50 or 60 years, I think. But I'm hoping Alien Romulus, they've dealt with this before. Ripley apparently had a daughter, but she was already gone by the time they found Ripley, like she'd already passed away. I'm hoping they deal with that time gap, like maybe Alien Romulus is dealing with Ripley's daughter or something. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to know where in the timeline they've put it. I don't know how I feel about the Alien Earth thing they're going to do. I always get a little sketchy when they bring these creatures to Earth, as far as kind of loses something, you know? But what can you say about this? There's so many great things here. Like I said, so many things that are such a step forward, orders of magnitude of progress in the concept of a sci-fi horror movie, let alone one specifically that is so tied to the fact that it's taking place in space. One thing I'm not super happy about on rewatching, or one thing I wish that they could change, is that there are still too many of the kind of stupid horror movie mistakes. The whole situation here is created by people making bad decisions, that kind of stuff. The first thing, Kane not being careful enough when they're exploring the planet, falls down with the eggs. Like, even if he falls down with the eggs, the next step should be immediately to get out of there. You don't know what those things are, and especially if they're moving. Again, get out of there. He gets attacked by the face hugger, and this is where it all starts. But like, again, over and over, we have situations where people aren't telling people things, which is, again, part of the kind of drama of the story. That one of the other villains here, one of the other main villains here, is the corporation. Because anybody else, like, their main focus once this alien was on board would be to kill it, get it out of there, get rid of it any way you can. And when you have a force from within working against you, like, no, we want to keep this and we want to make a profit off of it, and we don't care if all of you die. We care more about getting this thing back to us. But also the mistakes of so many people just going off on their own, making bad decisions. Like, at a certain point, why would you go off on, like, you're just asking to get killed if you go off on your own. And these are classic kind of horror movie dumb decisions. They're good for creating suspense. They're good for creating kind of the edge of your seat thing while you wait for the jump scare. There's something in modern horror, not all of them, but in a lot of them, where I feel like they've started trying to write in different explanations for certain situations to occur, where it's not the person making some dumb decision that gets them killed, but people doing the right things, people doing the things that they should do, but somehow things still go wrong and they end up in a bad situation or end up getting killed or whatever. I feel like it's scarier when you do it that way, because when it happens this way, you're like, oh yeah, why the hell would they go down that dark, into that dark part of the ship by themselves? This dumb idea. Of course they got themselves killed. It's scarier when you have a thing, it's like, they didn't do anything wrong. They did absolutely everything they should have, and it still got them killed. That's terrifying. I wish on the stories, not just in this, just in horror movies in general, that they would have come around to that a bit faster. Horror movies for so long, the whole point was just the jump scare, or just the scary moment, just the horrifying image that was going to stay with you after you left the theater and all of that. To spend a little more time on the story, make it a little more intelligent, I think, has definitely benefited this genre, has definitely improved this genre. in modern horror, and I think could have made so many of these movies even better. And back in the days when these were released, it makes me interested to see Alien Romulus and see what they were able to do. I can't remember who directed this one. I remember hearing that Neil Blomkamp was going to direct an Alien thing at one point. I don't know if that ended up actually happening. But aside from that, which is, something that all horror movies of a certain age kind of fall victim to, or it's seemingly all of them. What can you say about Alien? It's classic. The atmospheric tension that they create, just with the silence, just with a certain shot, just with the unknown and selling that properly. One example that always stands out to me, and I don't think that this is giving too much away because it's right at the beginning of the movie, but in the Batman, or Robert Pattinson, the new Batman movie, there's this part where they sell the presence of Batman by the fact that he can appear out of the shadow, terrifying people enough that he doesn't have to be everywhere because they're scared enough of him. They see a shadow behind them like Batman could be in that shadow, and that's enough to feel that presence. That's an amazing device to employ. In Jaws, they have so many different things that indicate the presence of the shark without showing the shark. In this movie, you feel the presence of the xenomorph everywhere. And I think when you do a horror movie monster or a creature, just any kind of antagonistic force that is just like this thing that's going to come at you out of the shadows and try to kill you, I think that's how you have to do it most effectively. Generally, I think you want to show the creature as little as possible. I think maybe they even showed the alien a little bit too much in this movie. If they'd showed it a little less, it probably would have increased the fear of it, the terror, But if they did, I think it's close. I don't think they went way over the top with it. I still want to hear an explanation about how the xenomorphs grow so quickly. Please let me know. Don't spoil anything, if it's an Alien Romulus or whatever, but if you know somewhere that they explain that, just give me the title of whatever movie or comic or whatever it was where they actually explain that. That's one of the only things I can't figure out. I remember watching this for the first time. I did not see this when I was young. I think I did see this only for the first time a few years ago. And being able to see why it was such a classic, why it held the place that it did within sci-fi and horror and kind of forging this genre, this subgenre of kind of specifically space horror. And it holds up. You can feel the age on a few of the things, certainly on the screen graphics and stuff. But it still very much holds up, and good filmmaking, I don't think, ages that much. I think it always comes through. Even if there's some little footnotes to show, this is from a bygone era, there are still things that will get you, story elements that will get you, no matter how long it's been. And that is always the mark of a good story and a good movie in this case. So I'm glad to have been able to watch it again. I think my voice is starting to go on me a little bit. If you'd be so kind, folks, please go ahead and check out the Patreon at the link here. The full-length reaction to this movie will be available over on the Patreon, along with full-length reactions to all kinds of other movies, exclusive TV shows, all kinds of stuff over there. I hope you'll go have a look and sign up as a patron. I'd love to have you. Any support you give to the Patreon and the channel here is very appreciated. Thank you so much. If you'd be so kind, please go ahead and rate, comment, and share this episode of the podcast. Really helps me out here. Thank you for being here to watch this with me. Thank you for voting for this. I really appreciate it. It narrowly beat out RoboCop. I had to put it to a tiebreaker poll. And I will see you on the next video. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the I've Seen Everything reaction wrap-up. Again, to find these reaction and watch-along videos, please visit @SeenEverything over on YouTube. Please consider following the podcast, and for those on Apple Podcasts, a rating and review are always appreciated. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll meet you here on the next episode.